Welcome, beautiful Paris Saint Germain family. The Didier Deshamps Paris Saint Germain French national team Ousmane Dembele Desire Doué situation just got a lot worse. And we're here to delve into everything. I myself haven't read every single report. There is so much to digest here and discuss. Let's just go through it. It would be a lot of reading, but a lot of reacting, obviously. First one here. After the injuries of Ousmane Dembele and Desire Doué, PSG is determined to do everything to ensure they do not go to the national team in October. For Paris, Didier Deshamps is the main culprit behind the fiasco, having stubbornly stuck to a decision. These injuries completely undermine the work done by Luis Enrique and his staff, particularly in managing rest and playing time, to compensate for lack of summer preparation. Paris Saint Germain, I absolutely love this. I said this in my video I made yesterday. We should not be sending our players to Didier Deshamps and the French Federation because they have zero caution, they have zero sympathy, zero empathy, zero caring, zero intelligence, zero intellectuality when it comes to treating football players. I mean, Ousmane Dembele, we all know about how fragile his body is, and he just got injured in the game before. And we'll get even to some Desire Doué stuff. Yes, there even stuff we can blame Deschamps on when it comes to Desire Doué. But this is a great move here by Paris Saint Germain. We do not our players to represent. I want my players to represent their national team, but I do not want them to get injured, especially in a stupid way. Players can get injured. That's normal. That's football for you. But when it's due to one man and his decisions and his stuff, there has to be consequences. Second one is this one right here. It's a huge one. As you can see, it's a letter that Paris Saint Germain, it's a letter sent by the club to the French Federation on September the 4th. I've translated it here. It's a lot to read. I don't want to read everything, but Paris Saint Germain wishes to reaffirm its commitment to further mission in the French team, including this is an objective that we fully share. But today we must express our deep concern and dissatisfaction with to preserve the health of our international players on the occasion of their selections to manage the national teams. For their selection currently underway, two of our injured players, Ousmane Dembele and Lucas Hernandez, were summoned. Even Lucas Hernandez kept in the group despite a clinical situation clearly incompatible with the competition. The club's medical follow a regular document did not give rise to any prior exchange or post-conviction with the federal staff. Ousmane Dembele suffered fatigue injury during the match. Just 4 days after the UEFA Champions League final, the information was only sent us by the player without contact with the federal. So now they're coming into when Dembele got injured in the Nations League semi-final versus Spain as well. Bradley Barcola summoned over the same period reported knee pain without any exchange has not been initiated by the federal services. He has in addition received a devaluing speech, medical staff. September 2024, Juan Zareme contacted muscle injury to Solis during gathering with French team, again without any information transmitted to the club. So now they're even discussing what the French Federation is sending to Paris Saint Germain. We also observe that some players are regularly summoned despite a medical status incompatible with a high level of practice, as in case today. And that medical decision is important are taken with that. In this context, Paris Saint Germain make the following request: the immediate implementation of a formalized medical communication protocol guaranteeing systematic, documented, and reciprocal exchanges between the medical staff and the club and the selection. Respect for a reinforced precautionary principle in the summoning of use of players, especially when they come out of serious matches or present an ongoing pathology of treatment. In this regard, seems to us necessary quickly to provide for the mandatory prior agreements for the club before any medical decision like to impact the physical ability should come play. In addition, and urgently, we would like to emphasize that the current situations of Messieurs Ousmane Dembele, Lucas Hernandez, I guess this is Desire Doué, both injured but summoned and kept in the group for the French national team, imposes urgent and responsible decisions. The medical staff of the Federation received, as always, the entire relevant clinical radiological elements transmitted clearly and completely by the team's medical of Paris Saint Germain. So Paris Saint Germain are saying, we gave the France Federation every single call-up, every single information, every single potential red flag when it comes to Ousmane Dembele's fitness, even Desire Doué, Lucas Hernandez and more. But the French Federation, they just spit on it, like it doesn't matter. Now we come to even more reports. Didier Deshamps in a press conference Ousmane Dembele's injury. If it was certain that he could play, plus his other thigh. Even though he didn't feel anything severe, it's because he was in good condition. Unfortunately for him, it can happen to someone who had nothing before. But if I bring him on, otherwise I brought up another player, but based on what he thought, in the medical situation, there was no emphasis whatsoever. This doesn't make any sense. And you will see why. First of all, the medical situation. We know clearly about the medical situation. Ousmane Dembele should not have come on in that France game. He should probably not have even been training with the French national team. So Deschamps lying here in front of everyone. And then he's saying what Dembele thought. We'll actually come to that with more reports here. Deschamps announced that Dembele should return to PSG's right hamstring has strained. It's not the same injury he had in Toulouse. Doué should stay with the French national team. Just a knock strain in his calf. Just a knock strain in his calf. And Doué is injured for 4 weeks. I mean, Didier Deshamps, you're just digging your grave deeper and deeper. As indicated by Deschamps, Ousmane Dembele will indeed leave in the training camp. PSG speaks of Deschamps' disrespectful management. It's completely crazy to have made him play. It's being whispered in the corridors of PSG. A communication is scheduled this Saturday between the two medical staffs, that of the Blues and that of PSG. It's getting bigger and bigger. Tensions between the Blues and PSG. PSG's fears because he had warned the French national team's medical staff not to play Ousmane Dembele even before the start of the training camp. Given his state of fatigue, there was a high risk of injury. Didier Deshamps is also leaving the national team gathering. He will also be made available to PSG, according to L'Equipe. A return to the competition a bit earlier is not ruled out, but Dembele could notably miss the clash against Marseille, Barca and Lille. Ousmane Dembele is not expected to play again before the next international break. His use during this international break has sparked anger from PSG. PSG had warned the letter sent to the French Federation to raise concerns about the health status of Dembele due in the Parisian players. We must today express our deep concern. This is basically what we read before in the message and everything. Paris Saint Germain completely frustrated with France. The medical update for this Saturday, September, concerns Ousmane Dembele and Doué, injured substitute during the Ukraine-France match on Friday. Ousmane Dembele is suffering from a severe right hamstring injury. His unavailability. We already know that. Deschamps respects no protocol. In parallel with this letter, even before the start of the gathering, PSG had also sent a clear medical staff to the French national team regarding Didier Deshamps to alert them about the player's physical condition. This is not even preventing coach from starting him against Ukraine. So even Didier Deshamps, Paris Saint Germain sent something to the French Federation. Like, we didn't know this. I didn't know anything about Didier Deshamps. We all knew about Ousmane Dembele. But even Didier Deshamps, Paris Saint Germain sent a protocol to France Federation and he still started him. Like, Deschamps, you are digging your grave. Go out in the press conference and apologize instead of being a dirty, dirty, dirty snake. Lying in press conference saying there's no protocol, I got no information, the medical staff was good. Liar, liar, liar. Paris Saint Germain, obviously we know about the letter. The club regrets that these medical recommendations were not taken into account by the medical staff of the French national team. Complete lack of consultation or collaboration with his medical teams. Deschamps' response on Dembele. From the moment the players on the field, zero risk does not exist. The incompetence of the blue staff at Deschamps is gravely serious. PSG, exasperated by Deschamps, assures that he will take all precautions to avoid further issues concerning its players. Despite his athletic deficit and the alert of stadium, Didier Deschamps selected Dembele. A flawed analysis by Deschamps' staff regarding Doué, even though he reported it as a minor knock. Other solutions were possible, but Deschamps remained stubborn. Between the French national team and the European champion club, there is a liar, Didier Deschamps. For its part, PSG warned the national team's medical staff not to play its players who were in a state of high fatigue. That's the thing, Paris Saint Germain players have played so many games as well. That's another concern for major injuries, but once again, Didier Deshamps was not concentrating in the biology lessons. The club specifically sent a letter to the Federation for Paris, which denounces the medical ego of the French team staff. There's a high risk of injury according to reigning French champion. Blue took nothing into account with PSG, Ousmane Dembele and Doué resume on solid ground with a new preparation. And this is the big thing I wanted to also come to. Deschamps announces that Doué felt pain at the start of 20 minutes, but he didn't want to substitute him out. A grievous error by Deschamps. Doué was obviously subbed out at halftime, but Didier Doué wanted to get subbed out in 20 minutes. Didier Doué should not have been starting this game at all. Last report here. The consequences for upcoming gatherings. PSG will now push hard to prevent Dembele and Doué from joining the national team in October. We should add Lucas Hernandez, Warren Zara, Emir Bradley Barcola. I do not want them to represent this. Dembele's entourage is also furious. On Monday, no one asked him if he wanted to stay or if he wanted to play on Friday. So once again, Didier Deschamps lying completely in front of everyone. He said that Dembele told him, yes, I want to play in all of this, even though it doesn't matter. And here Dembele's entourage is coming out and exposing Didier Deschamps for lying once again in front of the media. Initially, he was not supposed to play more than 20 minutes. And Dembele came on at halftime. 45 minutes he was supposed to play according to Didier Deshamps. Could the medical staff have anticipated this muscle fatigue? 100%. Yes, that's why PSG has been claiming for several hours, especially in Dembele's case. French national team staff played Dembele even though he had only one collective training session. Exactly. Dembele had only played one training session. On Saturday, the Capital Club regretted lack of response to their letter, more broadly, lack of communication. From now on, exactly, and they're still bringing up his injury that Dembele suffered during the Nations League semi-final versus Spain. Unlike Deschamps, PSG staff, is planning workloads, had anticipated this type of potential issue. PSG put a plan in place, which Enrique had thus taken responsibility for giving his players a complete break. The Spanish too are aware of the efforts demanded, especially from his forwards, not to anticipate the danger. So, now we have read through everything, and it's huge drama between Paris Saint Germain and the French Federation. Not really the French Federation, it's more Deschamps and his staff, but obviously they represent the French Federation. Yeah, I'm very happy that Paris Saint Germain took this strong stance, because the errors by Deschamps for both Desiré Doué and Ousmane Dembele, yesterday I only said Dembele was Deschamps' fault, but now with the reports coming out that Paris Saint Germain sent a letter regarding Desiré Doué's health and fitness, and that Desiré Doué wanted to get subbed out early on, puts even more swords towards Didier Deshamps. This has been one of the most disgusting, grievous, disgusting stuff I've seen from a manager. The complete idiocy, the complete egomaniac, the stubbornness, the disgustingness from Didier Deshamps is absolutely disgusting. If I was the French Federation, I would sack Deschamps now. Ousmane Dembele and Desiré Doué are two of France's best players, and Didier Deschamps is using them like animals. Dembele just got injured. Doué was not, and he made them both get injured. Doué out for 4 weeks and Dembele 6 to 8 weeks. And then when he's asking the media, deflecting everything. I'm a victim. My name is Didier Deschamps and I'm a victim. I can never do anything wrong. Huge, disgusting, filthy ego. Didier Deschamps, just say how it is. Yes, I should have known better. Yes, I shouldn't have taken a stupid risk. But that's the thing. You're Marseille. You like this. Huh? You like this, Didier Deschamps. Just be honest. Just be honest. Just say, yeah, I put them on because I wanted the potential of them getting injured. Because, I mean, it's either that or you have a lower IQ than a squirrel or something, a pig or something. Complete disgusting decision here from Didier Deschamps and his staff. And from now on, Paris Saint Germain should not send any of its players, not just Doué and Dembele, no Barcola, no Warren, until we can get actual proof that something has changed. This cannot keep on going. We didn't have Dembele for the beginning in the Club World Cup. Why? Due to Didier Deschamps. We're not going to have Dembele for the Barca, Atalanta, Marseille game. Why? Because Didier Deschamps. Same with Didier Deschamps. This is complete. I have never seen incompetence at high level football like this from Didier Deschamps. And taking zero accountability for his failure and mistakes is disgusting. And this wasn't like some big game. They were playing Ukraine at home. And look at the bench. He could have brought on Ekitike, Akhliosh, so many other great attackers. But why? Why? We also know about the false nine. Even though Dembele had such a great year, you still don't want to play Dembele as a false nine, or at least try it out. Why? Just tell us. Just tell us. I've accepted Dembele's injury and Doué's injury and that they're going to miss the games. I'm not mad about Dembele and Doué being injured. I'm mad about why they got injured and how easily it could have been prevented. As I said before, I didn't even want Dembele to go into international break. He went. I didn't want Dembele to train with them. He did. I didn't want Dembele to play. He played and played more than he should. And now when we get the information about Doué should not have even gone to the international break either. And if he did, another 20-minute cameo, that's it. Not starting the game. Sabotaging Paris Saint Germain season like this. But as a PSG fan, I'm not concerned. We have other great players. We have Khvicha Kvaratskhelia and Bradley Barcola who step up. Kangin Gonzalo Ramos, Ibrahim Mbaye, Cinema Yulu could do something interesting. And then the rest of the squad has to overcompensate. I'm looking at the fullbacks and the midfielders mostly. But Didier Deschamps, please, if you're an honest man, if you care about the truth, if you care about reality, and if you care about Ousmane Dembele and Desiré Doué, go out and say an apology. Because this is absolutely disgusting and filthy actions from you, Didier Deschamps. Absolutely zero respect. These two are representing the French national team, who you are managing. And you treating them as cattle, as animals, is absolutely disgusting, unprofessional, and should never ever happen again. I hope Paris Saint Germain's strong stance show something to the French Federation that this is completely unacceptable. And if it continues to happen, we will not send our players anymore. And you will rely on the other players. France has a lot of great players. And I don't think you need Dembele and do that much in qualifiers. There's still one game left. I hope I don't see Barcola injured. I hope. But yeah, that's been it. Big beef, big drama here. Shout out to Paris Saint Germain standing firm and defending its player, and disgusting for Deschamps. I mean, these are also his players, but he's not defending it. He's saying, oh, it could have been anyone. Oh, Dembele got injured in his other leg. Not my fault. Like, how do you think Dembele and Doué look at you now, Deschamps, as a manager and as a man? Well, that's been it from my boy PSG, and hopefully guys have enjoyed this video. And as usual, allez, Paris.